Hi, this is Jill from Humu Yoga, and this is the gentle chair yoga practice. This week we're working with a theme of aging. So I'm going to go ahead and take us through a quiet centering, and then I'm going to go through some inspirational quotes on aging, and then I'm going to weave this theme into our class today, where we're going to focus on hips and shoulders, strengthening and stretching. So if this is something you really like, please subscribe, because I do a different class every week with a different theme and a different focus. So to get started, just notice how you're sitting. Maybe you can take your hands to the sides and just take a moment and notice, like you can close your eyes. Notice the muscles you're sitting on. Can you engage them? Pelvic floor. We call that Mula Bandha, and it means root lock. So with Mula Bandha engaged, draw your attention to that place right below the belly button and pull in and up and get a sense of lifting upwards. And that's Uddiyana Bandha, and that means flying upwards. And then at the top of the spine, draw the chin down, and we call that Jalandhara Bandha, or chin lock. And now with the bandhas engaged, you're fully supported from inside. You can release the hands and close the eyes and begin to focus on the breath. So keeping the bandhas engaged, send your breath into the rib cage. So as you inhale, feel the rib cage expand. And then as you exhale, feel the rib cage relax and draw closer together. Inhale, feel the expansion. And then exhale, feel the rib cage relax. One more, inhale and exhale. Let's take our hands together at heart center, and we'll vibrate together in Om, and then I'll go through the quotes. Inhale. Om. Do not grow old, no matter how long you live. Never cease to stand like curious children before the great mystery into which we were born. Aging is not lost youth, but a new stage of opportunity and strength. With age comes wisdom. With wisdom comes connection. With connection comes peace. The longer I live, the more beautiful life becomes. Yoga teaches us to embrace every stage of life with grace, strength, and presence. Aging is simply another pose to hold with awareness. Aging. It's really appropriate for me right now because I just turned 63. I just had my birthday. And this aging theme reminds me, and even my age reminds me, that I don't have to overdo. I don't have to do too much. I can find a lot of depth in some of the smaller things and just be mindful, and then I don't miss anything, and it's all there in front of me, and it brings me joy. So we'll go ahead and just start to notice again how you're sitting. Let's go ahead and reach the arms out and take the hands behind the head. And notice, just in this movement, what's going on? Can you draw the shoulder blades down and then get a sense of width? So they're not just squeezing together, just in this movement. And then from here, let's go ahead, and what happens if you engage the back even more? You're supporting the head here. Can you lift up into a back bend? Pull the belly in. And then we're going to start an exhalation now, supporting the head, drawing the chin down. We begin to round the spine. Pull your belly in. It's okay for your pelvis to tuck back and to round. Pause here. And then inhale. Notice what's going on in your body. Can you draw the shoulders down your back and engage the back muscles to lift up and open the front? And then exhale, pull the belly in, and that supports the spine so the back of the spine can stretch as you come forward and draw the chin down. And then inhale and rise up, keeping the hands behind the heads. Let's try a side bend now. So lifting up and then side bend over to the right. And just notice, are the shoulders still drawing down and wide? Can you do that? And then rise up. So inhale, lift up. Now I'm contracting all the muscles on the left while stretching all the muscles on the right. and rise up. And then inhale here, a side bend to the right. This time, let's go ahead and turn. And I'm going to go ahead and take my right hand down and just kind of find a support. And I'm drawing the chin down, so I'm getting this gentle stretch to the back of the neck. And I'm not pushing my head down, it's just the weight of my hand is taking the stretch a little deeper. Then I'm going to start to turn. I'm pushing my head back into my hand and rolling my shoulder open. Roll the shoulder open. And then with this right shoulder, I'm trying to draw the shoulder away from the ear. Now reach up and open. And then from here, I'm going to really roll the shoulder away from the ear as I go over. So I'm rolling the shoulder away from the ear, even though I might be elevating it and reaching. And there's a big side stretch from my pinky finger all the way down my hip. And if you wanted to, maybe you could change your gaze up or straight ahead, whatever feels good in your body, and then rise up. Let's go to the other side. Inhale, reach. As I take my hands behind my head, the shoulders are going down and wide. And then I take a nice side bend to the left. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my hand down for support. Draw that left shoulder away from your ear. And you can start to drop the elbow a little bit as you turn down. Maybe you want to drop the chin here to get more stretch in this part of your neck. Do what feels good in your body, but make sure your shoulders are rolling away from your ears on both sides. And then we start to turn. And I open that elbow up. And then I'm going to go ahead and reach up, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. And then I reach over. So shoulder away from the ears. Even though the shoulder might be elevated, it's still rolling away from my ear. And then I turn or look straight ahead. And then inhale, rise up. Good side body stretches. Now we're going to turn and come into a lunge. So a lunge variation where I want this back knee bent in the beginning. So you're sitting on your right hip, you're trying your best to make a right angle at the front foot, and then we're going for a posterior tilt. I want you to feel like you're tucking your butt under on this left side, but you're pulling the right butt back. So you might be getting a nice stretch here. And then from here, let's go ahead and bow in for a moment and see if you can pull your belly in and tuck your butt under. Now I'm widening across my back in prayer position, kind of rounding here. And then inhale, rising up. Now we're going to go from here into more of a back bend. So I want you to try and straighten that leg, but keep the engagement under the butt. And we're going to take this angel arm. So you're going to draw the shoulder down and wide and start to lift up to go back. Now you could use your right hand on the wall, or maybe you want to do it with your right arm too, as you're reaching, and just see how that feels. Try to straighten your back leg. Just go where it feels good in your body and rise up. And then from there, let's go ahead and reach the left arm up and take a side bend to the right. Just notice how that feels. Keeping that left butt under. Maybe you want to take your gaze up and then inhale, rise up. And now from here, from everything facing forward, we're going to start to open the hips. So we have the front of the hips. Now we're opening the inner hips and working the outer hips, especially in the front leg as we come into warrior two. And we're facing this way. The hips are facing forward, but we turn our gaze and breathe. Inhale and exhale. And you're engaged in the hips so much that if you wanted to, you might come off. But just, it's not, you don't have to do that, but just feel the work in the hips that you could maybe, and reach. And then from here, we're going to turn and go to the other side. So turning. So remember, keep the back knee bent at first. And I want you to get, it's called a posterior pelvic tilt because you're trying to tuck your butt under so we get a stretch on the top of the hip flexors here. We sit a lot, these get really tight, and then it can start to tug on the low back. So we really want to open that up. And then go ahead and round forward and pause. Pull the belly way in. Just notice how this feels. Shoulders away from your ears. Pause. Now we're going to start to straighten the back leg, but at the same time, you might have to move it back a little. You want to keep that butt tucking under, and we'll come to the angel arm. So the shoulders draw down, but they're not just squishing together. There's a sense of width. So you're engaging the back muscles to open the front, engaging the back of the legs to open the front. As you lift up, find that sense of angel arms, reaching. Maybe you want to do both arms. Just go where your body feels good. And then rising up. So you don't have to push it. Just go to where it feels good. Reach that right arm up and just gently side bend to the left. You could keep this back leg a little bent. You could work to straighten it. Just go to where the stretch feels good in your body. Inhale, rise up. Now we're gonna go from this squared hips forward to opening the hips. So when you open the hips, you turn on the external rotators and you feel the inner thighs. And I'm facing this way now, but I'm just turning my head. And then from here, if your external rotators are engaged in your hips, you might be able to come up. Just notice how that feels. Or maybe you're not coming all the way off the chair, but you're feeling the engagement of the legs. And breathe. And then from here, we're gonna slowly come forward. And from here, let's go ahead and cross the right ankle over the left knee. This is a great place to feel the outer hips stretch. So sit way up and see if you notice that. You can take prayer position here. Maybe you could come forward and that makes it a little bit more intense as you open that knee, but in a good way, a good intense, and come up. And let's go to the other side. So let the left leg come up. And I'm keeping my foot activated too. That really gives it good engagement. So I'm really working to open this knee out. And if that feels good and you want to, you could come forward. Or maybe you're just staying here and you could even use your hand. You're trying to open that so you feel the external rotators. And then release. And then from here, let's come into a nice goddess pose. So sit up for a moment, as tall as you can. I feel like I'm sticking my butt out a little bit as I come forward because I want to get that stretch, and I'm encouraging my knees to open. You could take your hands here, you could stay here. Maybe you could come to the floor and try to open those knees. Open those knees. At some point, if you wanted to, you could relax your head. Pull the belly in. I'm sticking my butt out. That's the feeling. And then inhale, lengthen. And now we're going to rise up. You can use your hands. Rise up. And then from here, let's come into a bit of a squat. Squats are great because they really encourage you to engage the low back in a strengthening way and the glutes. So feeling a deep bend in your hips, lean forward and stick your butt out. As you can use your hands, press, feel the strength of your legs. When you get all the way up, make sure your butt's not still sticking out. Draw it into neutral. And then we'll try that again. You can reach your arms forward and lean forward or hands back to guide you down. Notice, can you feel your butt muscles, the back of your legs as you push? And then you start to feel the back of your legs as you stand all the way up. And then the hip flexors stretch on the top. Last one. Maybe you reach forward and pause. And now we're going to come into a nice cross-legged position. So I want you to maybe take your left leg across, lift your right knee, pull it in, and then across. And you're trying to cross really deep as you can. It's like my inner thighs are rolling in towards each other. And sit up as tall as you can. Just sit up as tall as you can. And then from here, we're going to take a nice variation, arm variation. So we're stretching the hips and the shoulders, where I'm going to welcome you to draw the left arm across, and maybe your right arm pulls it and you sit up. Now maybe you stay here, and I'm really trying not to lift the shoulder, but really I'm protracting, right? So I'm widening across the back. If you can grab here, and lift up. But I'm widening the shoulders, so I'm getting a stretch across the back, a stretch on the hips, and slowly release. And then from here, let's just take a gentle twist to the right. Just turn. Pull the belly way in, and I'm encouraging this knee to come across as I turn. Lift the sternum, shoulders down, and slowly coming across. Let's go to the other side. So sitting up tall, I'm going to draw this right foot more to the center, lift the left knee up, fold in, and then really cross tight. Get in tight. See what you can do. And then sit up. like I'm really squeezing those inner thighs together. See if you can feel that. And then from there, I'm going to draw the right arm across. And maybe you stay here and get this nice stretch across the back, the shoulder blade. Or maybe you can get your elbows in tight and lift up. And I'm protracting, meaning I'm pulling the shoulder blades wide across my back and down, and I pull forward. And just notice the stretch here. Pull the belly and lift up. It feels really good on the shoulders, especially the back of the shoulders. Breathe and gently release. And then from here, let's take the twist. So you can, with your right hand, try to encourage that left knee across. Shoulders are down, and I'm turning from my rib cage. Turning, 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 and come back. And then from here, I like to finish always with a back bend and a forward bend. So let's play around with those angel arms. The angel arms down. The shoulders are going down and wide. Lift up. You're welcome to reach the arms if that's what you want to do. And slowly coming out. And then let your legs come out in front of you. You can flex your feet for a more intense stretch in the calves, but scoot forward a little bit so you can find the length in your low back. So engage that. Come forward, and then really extend your spine as much as you can, and then surrender, drop the head. And just go to where it feels good in your body. Breathe. Breathe. Even if your knees are a little bent, that's okay. Just surrender. And then inhale, lengthen. We'll rise up. And I always like to come back to this place where we started class and just take a moment to notice the effects of this practice with the theme of aging, how that brings depth, experience, wisdom, calmness, and let that just resonate in everything you do. Namaste.